Ladies and gentlemen, there is a profound truth in knowing that God fights for his children. It is not merely a poetic sentiment, but a living reality for those who trust him. Today, I want to take you on a journey to uncover the undeniable evidence that God is actively fighting your battles. One of the clearest signs that God is fighting your battles is the supernatural peace that settles within you during turmoil. This peace doesn't come from circumstances, it comes from the assurance that God is in control. As the Apostle Paul wrote, it is a peace that surpasses all understanding. When the world expects you to crumble, you stand firm because you know who holds the outcome. God has a way of aligning the right people, resources, and opportunities to work in your favor. Have you ever been in a situation where help came out of nowhere? That wasn't luck, that was God. When doors open at just the right time and connections are made without your effort, it is a sign that he is orchestrating your victory. Sometimes the battle doesn't look the way we expect. God may allow certain doors to close or plans to fall apart. Why? Because he is shielding you from what you cannot see. His protection is a battle strategy. What feels like a setback is often a setup for something greater. Trust him when he says no, because every closed door is a divine redirection. There are moments when you feel drained, unqualified, or incapable. Yet somehow you keep moving forward. That is not your strength, it is his grace working in you. God's power is made perfect in weakness. When you feel like giving up, remember the battle is not yours, it's the Lord's. It's the Lord's. He is your strength when you have none left. God often fights battles you never see. You may not know what dangers were lurking or what traps were set against you, but God dismantled them before they could harm you. He goes ahead of you, making crooked paths straight and clearing the way for your victory. Every day you wake up is proof that God is fighting unseen wars on your behalf. Finally, the most profound sign that God is fighting your battles is the unwavering assurance that comes from his word. When his promises come alive in your spirit, fear loses its grip and doubt fades. Be still and know that I am God, he says. That is not just a command, it is a declaration of his authority over every situation you face. When God is fighting your battles, one of the most profound signs is the peace that overtakes your heart and mind, even when everything around you seems to be falling apart. This peace defies human logic. It cannot be explained by reason or circumstance. It is not the result of a problem being solved or a storm being calmed. Rather, it is the result of knowing that the one who holds the universe is also holding your situation. This peace is not about denial or ignoring reality. It is about assurance. It whispers to your soul that you are not alone, that you are cared for, and that the outcome is in the hands of a God who never fails. Even when the winds of adversity blow fiercely, this peace acts as an anchor, holding you steady and immovable. Think about the times when you should have been overwhelmed by fear or anxiety, yet somehow you stood firm. That wasn't your own strength, it was the peace of God. This peace flows from his promises, reminding you that he is your refuge and strength, a very present help in times of trouble. It tells you that no weapon formed against you will prosper and that he will fight for you. You need only to be still. When others look at you and wonder how you can remain calm in the storm, let it be a testimony to the God who fights your battles. This peace doesn't mean you won't face challenges or feel the weight of the situation, but it means you won't be consumed by it. It is the evidence that God is at work, ensuring that the victory is already won, even before the battle is over. When God is fighting your battles, his involvement becomes evident through divine alignments, those moments when everything seems to fall into place in ways you could never orchestrate on your own. These alignments are not coincidences, they are purposeful acts of God, showing that he is working behind the scenes to fulfill his promises and bring about your victory. Consider how God positions people, opportunities, and resources at just the right time. A door opens where there seemed to be no way forward. Someone enters your life with the wisdom or support you desperately needed, even though you never asked for it. These are not random occurrences, they are divine interventions, revealing that God is actively arranging circumstances for your benefit. When you are in alignment with His will, you may notice that the very things you were striving for start to come effortlessly. This is because God's hand is guiding the process. He connects you with the right individuals, placing you in the right situations and granting you favor that no human effort could achieve. Even setbacks and delays are used by Him to position you exactly where you need to be. At times, these alignments may not be immediately clear. What seems like a detour or even a loss might later be revealed as a critical part of His plan. Trusting in His divine timing and purpose allows you to see that every event, whether big or small, is working together for your good. God's divine alignments also carry a sense of ease. When He is in control, the striving ceases. The resources and opportunities you need come without manipulation or stress. It is as if the puzzle pieces of your life begin to fit together in perfect harmony. This is a reminder that He is the master strategist, aligning every detail to fulfill His purpose for you. Divine alignments testify to the reality that the battle is not yours alone. They show that God is actively working, not just for your success, but for His glory to be revealed through your life. When God is fighting your battles, one of the clearest signs of His involvement is when certain doors close, even when you desperately wanted them to remain open. At first, this can feel like rejection or failure, but in reality, it is God's protection at work. He sees what you cannot see, and in His infinite wisdom, He sometimes denies what you think is best to preserve what truly is best for you. These closed doors are not the end of the story, but rather a redirection towards something greater. You may have been pursuing a goal or relationship with all your heart, only to find it suddenly out of reach. While this can be painful, God's hand is often in these moments shielding you from paths that could lead to harm, distraction, or disappointment. What feels like a delay is often a detour designed to guide you to a place of safety and blessing. Think of the times when you prayed for an opportunity, but the answer seemed to be no. Later, you realized that what you thought was a setback was actually God saving you from something you were not ready for or something that was not meant for you. His no is just as loving as His yes, because it is rooted in His desire to see you walk in His perfect plan. When God closes a door, He often uses it as a teaching moment. It's an invitation to trust Him more deeply and to let go of your need to control the outcome. These moments remind you that the battle is not yours to fight alone. They teach you to lean not on your own understanding, but to acknowledge Him in all your ways, trusting that He will direct your paths. Closed doors may feel like rejection, but they are divine redirections. They position you for opportunities that align with your purpose and ensure that what you receive is not only good, but God ordained. When you look back, you'll see that every closed door was a stepping stone to a higher level of victory orchestrated by the one who knows all things. When God is fighting your battles, one of the most profound ways He demonstrates His power is by giving you strength in your moments of greatest weakness. It's in those times when you feel drained, inadequate, or completely unable to move forward that His grace becomes most evident. This is not about your capacity, but about His sufficiency. Weakness often brings us to the end of ourselves, where our natural abilities and resources fail. Yet it is precisely in this place of vulnerability that God's strength shines the brightest. He steps in where you fall short, reminding you that the battle was never yours to win on your own. His power is made perfect in weakness, meaning that your limitations become the very platform for His glory to be revealed. Have you ever faced a situation so overwhelming that you thought you couldn't take another step, yet somehow you did? That wasn't your strength, it was God carrying you. It's His Spirit within you, enabling you to endure, persevere, and even triumph in circumstances that would otherwise break you. When you lean on Him, He equips you with what you need, moment by moment. Strength and weakness also humbles us, teaching us to depend on God and not on our own understanding or abilities. It strips away pride and self-reliance, drawing us closer to Him. In those moments, you realize that your weakness is not a flaw, but a channel through which God's power flows. It's a reminder that His grace is sufficient no matter how impossible the situation may seem. This divine strength doesn't always look like the removal of challenges. Sometimes it's the quiet resilience to face another day, the courage to keep believing when the odds are stacked against you, or the peace to wait patiently for His timing. Whatever form it takes, it is unmistakable proof that God is fighting for you, lifting you above your struggles and guiding you toward victory. When God is fighting your battles, there are victories happening in realms you cannot see. While you may be focused on the challenges in front of you, God is working behind the scenes, addressing issues you aren't even aware of. These unseen battles are where His power is most evident, protecting you from dangers, dismantling traps, and paving the way for blessings you never expected. Have you ever had a moment where you look back and realize how much worse a situation could have been? That wasn't coincidence, that was God stepping in to fight battles on your behalf. He shields you from harm, neutralizes attacks you didn't know were aimed at you, and removes obstacles before they can hinder your progress. God's unseen victories extend beyond the physical, they also occur in the spiritual realm. The Bible reminds us that we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against spiritual forces. Without your awareness, God is waging war against the forces of darkness that seek to discourage, distract, or destroy you. Every time you overcome fear, temptation, or despair, it's evidence of a battle God has already won for you. Even the small, everyday moments carry signs of His unseen hand at work. That sudden change of plans that kept you out of harm's way, the unexpected resolution of a problem you didn't even know existed, these are not accidents. They are reminders that God is always watching, always intervening, and always fighting for you, even when you can't see it. Trusting in God's unseen battles requires faith. You may not always understand why things happen the way they do, but you can rest assured that nothing escapes His attention. He is the ultimate protector, ensuring that every step you take is covered by His grace and every threat against you is disarmed before it reaches you. His unseen victories are a testament to His love, His power, and His relentless commitment to your well-being. When God is fighting your battles, one of the most reassuring signs is the power and truth of His word coming alive in your life. His word is not just a collection of promises, it is His voice, His authority, and His commitment to you. In the midst of struggles, His word becomes your anchor, grounding you in truth when everything around you feels uncertain. There is something supernatural about how the scriptures speak directly to your situation. A verse you've read countless times suddenly takes on new meaning, providing clarity, comfort, or direction. It's as if God Himself is saying, I see you, I hear you, and I am with you. These moments remind you that His word is not bound by time. It is living, active, and powerful, meeting you right where you are. God's word also carries the authority to bring victory. When He says, no weapon formed against you shall prosper, it's not just encouragement, it's a declaration of war against anything that rises up against you. His promises are not wishful thinking, they are guarantees backed by the power of the one who spoke the universe into existence. The assurance of His word also builds unshakable faith. It reassures you that He is fighting battles you cannot see and working all things together for your good. When you meditate on His promises, fear loses its grip, doubt begins to fade, and hope rises. His word reminds you that the outcome of your battles is not determined by circumstances, but by His sovereign will. Even in silence, His word stands firm. When answers seem delayed, His promises are your proof that He has not forgotten you. They remind you that He is faithful, that His timing is perfect, and that His plan is far greater than anything you can imagine. Holding on to His word is not just an act of faith, it is a declaration that you trust the one who holds every battle, every victory, and every moment of your life in His hands. In the midst of life's challenges, when the weight of the battle feels overwhelming, remember that you are not alone. The God who formed the heavens and the earth is actively fighting for you. His peace sustains you in the storm, His divine alignments guide your steps, and His closed doors protect you from unseen harm. He strengthens you in your weakest moments and secures victories in battles you may never even realize were fought. All of this is anchored in the unshakable truth of His word, which reminds you that His promises are sure and His love for you is unending. The greatest sign that God is fighting your battles is the undeniable evidence of His hand moving in your life, bringing peace, aligning your path, and shielding you from harm. He is faithful to finish what He has started and will never leave you to face the fight alone. So trust in Him, lean into His strength, and stand firm in the assurance that the victory is already won. Let this be your declaration: if God is for me, who can be against me? With him on your side, no challenge is too great, no obstacle too daunting, and no enemy too powerful. He is your defender, your shield, and your source of victory. Rest in his power, walk in his promises, and watch as he turns every battle into a testimony of his glory.